All right, a couple more problems from your Chapter 8 practice test here with Algebra Skill 34, where we have j to the negative fifth times k to the fourth, and you are asked to write this without negative exponents. When we look at this, we see negative exponents on the j, so this is a red flag. This needs to go away, and we can't just simply make this 5 positive. We have to obey the rules that we have for exponents. So when I see this j, the j needs to be fixed. It needs to be a positive 5, and to do this, we have to move j and its exponent to the denominator of the fraction is the pattern that's happening there. The problem is that we don't have a fraction. So we need to make this a fraction by taking j to the negative fifth times k to the fourth and putting it over 1. Now this is a fraction. And now we can take this j to the negative fifth, move it to the denominator of the fraction, and when we do that, that 5 will become positive. And the k we leave in the numerator because the k does not have a negative exponent. So rewriting this without a negative exponent will look like this. K to the fourth over j to the fifth. Now the exponent of 5 is positive, and j is no longer in the numerator of the fraction with k. Algebra Skill 35, we have 4m to the fourth times b to the negative fifth, all of this to the third power. So we have 4 to the third power, we have m to the fourth to the third power, and we have b to the negative fifth to the third power. So what this is going to look like is 4 to the third, because we're doing 4 times 4 times 4, because of this exponent of 3. We're doing m to the fourth times itself 3 times. So we'll have m to the fourth times m to the fourth times m to the fourth. And then we have b to the negative fifth 3 times. So going back to the very first problem on the test, what we do is with these exponents is we multiply them. 4 times 3 is 12. Negative 5 times 3 is negative 15. And there's no exponent on this 4, so it's kind of like having an exponent of 1. And 1 times 3 is 3. So we have this here. You may be asked to write this without negative exponents. And we see a variable with a negative exponent, b. So this needs to go away. It needs to go to the denominator of the fraction. However, this is not a fraction, so we make it a fraction and then move b to the denominator of that fraction. So now this has been simplified and rewritten without negative exponents by moving this b and its exponent to the denominator and making that exponent positive. Algebra Skill 36. 3 over x to the sixth. This is being squared, so what this means is 3 over x to the sixth times 3 over x to the sixth. So we're going to have 3 is being squared and x to the sixth is being squared. So what we have here is what we see on the screen, 3 times 3, x to the sixth times x to the sixth. 3 times 3 is 9, also means 3 squared. X to the sixth times x to the sixth. If we multiply those two things together, we add their exponents. So we get 3 squared, which you could just write this as a 9 also, over x to the 12th, because 6 plus 6 is 12. And if we go back and look at this, 6 times 2 is 12. So our answer for this would be 3 squared over x to the 12th. Skill 37, between which two consecutive integers does the following square root lie? If you were to ask me what the square root of 113 is, I'd have no idea because 113 is not a perfect square. So I need to remember what my perfect squares are and think of what are the perfect squares that are around 113. And I know the square root of 100. Square root of 100. I know that one. That 100 is a perfect square, so I know what that is. And I also know the square root of 121, which might require me to do a little bit of searching what that next perfect square is. But 121 is a perfect square also. The square root of 100 is 10, because 10 times 10 is 100. The square root of 121 is 11, because 11 times 11 is 121. So therefore, the square root of 113, I don't know exactly what that is, but I know that it has to be in between 10 and 11, because 10 times 10 is 100, 11 times 11 is 121, and 113 is in between 100 and 121. So this will be somewhere in between 10 and 11.